Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and this is going to be our first UFC preview, and this will be for UFC Fight Night Volkov versus Rozenstruik. Before I get started, make sure to hit the like button and hit the share button, and make sure you comment down in the comment section below and let me know if this is a type of content you'd like to see going forward. Hopefully I will be doing a preview with Callum next week for UFC 275. But I'm going to see if I can try and do previews and reviews for all the UFC Fight Nights. So let me know if that's something that you'd like to see. Let's get started. Massive fight for these two guys. Bit of a crossroad fight for both of these. Both ranked 7 and 8 respectively. Both coming off of losses. And you feel like that one loss in this fight pushes them probably hovering outside the top 10 and probably going to be called nicknamed probably the gatekeeper. So let's look at Rozenstruik first. So I've got his record on my screen next to me. He's 12-3. Came into the UFC undefeated, crushing, knocking people out. Like when you look at it, like Arlovski, round 1, knockout, knocks out Alistair Overeem. A fight that he was losing, then gets the knockout. I believed if Overeem survives the last 5 seconds, then Overeem wins on points. But Rozenstruik got the big knockout, and then that 20-second knockout to Francis Ngannou, the windmill fight. And since then he's gone win-loss, win-loss. So it's gonna be it's big for him because he's a striker, right? Renowned for his striking game, not much of a ground game type of guy, really. But he is down at ATT, trying to work on that ground game. But when you look at some of his losses, decision to Cyril Gane, I remember staying up to watch that fight. The fight wasn't particularly great. Cyril just kept the distance, didn't really get allowed him to get close. Then he lost to Curtis Blades as well. And his wins were, since that Ngannou loss, Junior Dos Santos and Augusto Sakai, who isn't at that level to be pushing into the top rankings of the heavyweight division. So it is a massive fight for him because he needs to get back on that horse. He needs to get a win. And you could say the same for Volkov. Like last time he fought was in UFC London against Tom Aspinall. Got submitted by a straight armbar. I think it's the first time he's ever been submitted in the UFC, Volkov. But yet again, like his losses have come against Cyril Gane, decision. Curtis Blades, decision. Got KO'd by Derek Lewis. And then he got KO'd by Derek Lewis. But his wins are against Fabrizio Verdum. That was in UFC London as well. Main event. Great fight. Beat Greg Hardy. Beat Walt Harris. Beat Alistair Overeem. I remember watching that fight. That was Overeem's last UFC fight. I thought Volkov was at that point was at a different level, but I don't know whether or not you could attribute that to just Overeem just not at that level anymore, at the top of the rankings. And then beat Marcin Tybura decision last October. It's a tough one because if you're Rozenstruik, you probably got around 2 rounds to knock him out. And if I'm his coaches, you go, right, we've got 2 rounds, let's give it everything. Because that's the only way I see him winning. I don't see him winning by decision. If he doesn't make it out the 2 rounds, I could easily see Volkov finishing him. Because even though Volkov hasn't got a super renowned ground game, he's primarily a kickboxer. But he's definitely got some ground game. He's probably got more ground game than Rozenstruik. So, hey, if he in the first couple of rounds, if he can get him on the mat, keep him there, drain his energy, then you could probably see a late round finish. And if you're trying to get a prediction out of me for this fight, I'm probably going to go Volkov round 4. KO round 4. I reckon he's going to use that range. He's going to get in. He's going to clip him. And then I think he'll finish him in the 4th round. And then the last fight I'm going to talk about on the main card is the co-main. Dan Ige versus Movsar Evloev. Both at featherweight. Both ranked at featherweight. Dan Ige, I think, ranked number 8 or 9. And Evloev is ranked number 13. And this is a big one for Dan Ige because he's 15-5. His losses have come, like his last few losses, Calvin Kattar, decision. Zombie, decision. Josh Emmett, decision. So those are like that upper echelons, and I think he's 30 now, so he's not by any way, he loses this, he's done. Should think about retirement. But if he loses this, he's going to be further behind in the rankings, and the featherweight division is a division full of killers. So, and Evloev, before coming into the UFC, he was a big killer. I think it was like 10. I think it was 10-0 before he arrived. He had multiple finishes, but since he's come to the UFC, 5 fights, 5 wins, but 5 decisions, and that hype has sort of really decelerated. And the UFC, if you want to push up the rankings, you need to, as well as winning, you need to win in style. And just winning by decision is not going to cut it, because fans aren't going to draw to you. They need. Now, are you a great submission expert, or are you providing those iconic, like, oh my god, he's just knocked him out with like a spinning head kick or something like that. So it's a really interesting fight, because if Evloev needs a big win, he needs to not to beat Ige, he needs to knock him out or to get a submission. So it is a tough one, because Dan Ige needs this win if he wants to try and take away that undefeated streak. But for him, if he wants to push back and maybe get a rematch with a Zombie, or if he's looking up the rankings and maybe wants to fight a Bryce Mitchell who wants to fight, or even England's own Arnold Allen, he needs a win. But if Evloev gets the win, then yeah, that shoots him. Probably gets him around the 10th ranking, breaks him inside the top 10, and then you're looking at those same fights, your likes of your probably Edson Barboza, Edson Barboza, your Bryce Mitchells, your Arnold Allens, your Josh Emmett's, depending on how the Calvin Kattar fight ends up. So massive potential for either of these fights. I do feel like it's going to be a great fight. Do I think we'll get a decisive knockout win? I don't personally. I think this fight will go to decision. I'll just see what else is on the card as well. Trying to see what else is on the card as well. We have Alonzo Menifield versus Askar Moiharov. I think Harov is making his UFC debut. There was some funny things really about his actual records, because I think someone said like, oh, his record's like 27-5, and then when you break it down, it's actually 19-12. So isn't great. It isn't a particularly great record, but it's got a tough task against Alonzo Menifield. And you know, when you come into the UFC, coming outside of the promotion into the UFC, as Conor McGregor would say, is a whole nother ball game. It's a whole nother ball game. You come in with all the hype, but you know, Alonzo Menifield's no slouch. No slouch. I think, wasn't he the fighter that beat Paul Craig? I think he knocked out Paul Craig, or was that? No, I think that was someone else that knocked out Paul Craig. But yeah, he's definitely a problem. He's definitely be a problem, and I actually see him, Menifield, you know, spoiling the debut. of Askam Movsar, just to see if there's anything interesting on the prelims to go through. We've got Jeff Molina is fighting, and then you got another undefeated fighter at featherweight, Dan Ige, fighting against Damon Jackson. That should be an interesting matchup. And then you got women's flyweight action, Erin Blanchfield versus JJ Aldrich. I think neither of those ladies are ranked, but that should push them closer towards the top 15 spot. Should. And then and the prelim headliner, Felice Herrig versus Carolina, and I'm not gonna say that name because I'll butcher it. So some great fights, not the biggest names, but this is what fight nights are about. Fighters that you don't really hear of, and they make a statement. They make a statement win, and then you go, wow, okay, now I want to follow him. So I'll be watching this tonight. This is actually the fights are being shown in the UK, 6 p.m. prelims. I think is it 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. prelims, then 9 p.m. main card. So it's actually on at a decent time, so I won't actually stay up too late actually tonight, which is great. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm going with Volkov and Ige in the co main event. So let me know what you think, and let me know if this is the type of content you'd like to see. Obviously, I'm going to try and bring out some more MMA content as well as the football content. So, until next time, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon.